Good evening and welcome. Welcome to Fight CPS to Stop Taking Our Children. I'm Bob Pace. I'm your host. And this is a live stream brought to you every night at 7 p.m., 7 days a week. And I'm glad that you've found me and you're joining me. We're here to fight what I call the Child Protection System, CPS. It's a government entity that's supposed to protect our children from neglect and abuse. An act of Congress was mandated that social services create a group of social workers to take care of families that have children that are abused or neglected and do what's called family reunification if they need to break up the family. And that's sort of the scope of it. The only problem is we don't know the bad CPS from the good CPS. 50% of the CPS entities out there are corrupt. And that's from firsthand experience myself. I was abused and corrupted. My children were trafficked and alienated in CPS's hands. There's been approximately 2,800 people I've talked to over the last 24 months that concur that they too had lost their children when they weren't in danger. And it's a hard thing to do. Right now, we had Bentley in court. Um, she's from Montana, and I hope her case went well. She had a time with her son to get her son back, a status update. Hello, Cynthia Livingston. And you're from where, Cynthia? You're from where? I forgot. I think you're from Los Angeles, California. I think you're from Los Angeles, California. One of the things I like to do is we have several ways you interact with this live stream. Um, one is to text a message. You can make a question or a comment about CPS. Please state your first name and your city or county, your state, and if you're outside the United States, your country. Now, the information that I'm providing you is I'm not an attorney. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a loving father and a husband. I have 43 years of marriage experiences, and I have raised 6 children. I also have 61 years of working and life skills. Also, I've been fighting CPS for 15 years. And so, with all the people I've heard from everything, I'm going to give you an educational um, purpose to help keep your children or get your children back. Now, if you want legal advice, all you have to do is contact my office at 888-888-6582 and speak to Vincent Davis. He's my attorney. He is trained in the areas of juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. And he gladly take on your case. He has all kinds of packages depending on how much time you need with him. He's been fighting CPS for 39 years. He's a trial attorney. He's won thousands of kids getting back to their families. He's also a trial attorney. He can do trials and sue CPS both in state court and federal court. He's the real deal. So what I will do is I'll share you the stories of others and myself and help you fight CPS. Because a lot of you are in a situation where you're low income, and that happens with the majority of the people. of the 2,800 people, I think they all have something in common is low income. Because you need an attorney to fight CPS. That's one of my first rules is to get an attorney. Now, we had Bartley. Oh no, I don't want to hear that. Went horrible. Ooh. Symphony. LA County. I thought you're in Los Angeles, LA County. Bartley, I didn't want to hear that. It went horrible. It can't go horrible. This was the status hearing. Bartley, do not slip back into depression. You need to tell me what happened. You have to tell me what happened. Okay? You need to tell me what happened, Bartley, so that I can help you. So that I can help you. You need to start from the beginning. If you want to call in, my phone is live. And thank you for the emoji here, Randolph Acton. Now, Bartley's from Monterey, from Montana, the state of Montana. And she has a tough case. The man that she cared about has turned against her. And I think he has something to do with it turning bad. I don't know. And it's okay, Bartley. I need to know so I can help you. And Cynthia Cynthia, it's glad to see you again. You've been on here many, many times. And thank you for your appreciation of Vincent Davis. So we're here to help you all with your concerns and questions. And you have to understand that you cannot trust the child protection system. It is corrupt. Not only is it corrupt with the social workers, but the attorneys and the judges are corrupt. They all work against you. It's all about money. It's all about money and how long they can drag it on and how they can take away children. Now, Bartley has a 5-year-old child, and she's trying to get him to be returned to her at home. And her person that's turned against her has taken her Social Security, and he's taken the money that CPS has given for temporary taking care of her child. He's not the biological father. So the next hearing is November 4th. Well, what happened at the update hearing? What happened? They said that the biological father brought a brand new car in Missouri and rented and leased the apartment. Now, I didn't know you had the biological father still involved. I thought he was gone. That's something you didn't tell me about, Bartley. Who is the biological father and what is he relationship to you? My daughter told me that the biological father is only doing this so he can try to get me therefore, meaning if I'll go with him, he'll stop all this. Well, you never told me that biological. You told me a guy named Kelly was a man in your life that turned against you. Is he the biological father? I'm really confused, Bartley. I'm really confused. That is so sad that he's using hostages on that. Now, you can also be a guest on my live stream. To be a guest on my live stream, all you have to do is email me at bobp@vincentwdavis.com. You pick one of my 14 shows, Uh, I'm on twice a day. You just say you want to be Bob's Sunday morning show or Bob's Friday night show or Bob Wednesday morning or Monday night, whatever day, night or day. And my times are really simple. In the evening, I'm on at 7 p.m. every night of the week. And in the morning, I'm on weekdays at 10 a.m. and on the weekend, 8 a.m. Those times are all Pacific Standard Time. I'm on the west coast of California. If you live in Montana, you're on Mountain Time. That's 1 hour ahead. If you live in Texas, you're 2 hours ahead of me. That is Central Time. If you live in the East Coast, like Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida, you're 3 hours ahead of me. And if you live over in United Kingdom, you are 8 hours ahead of me. And in Europe, you're 9 hours ahead of me. And Africa, you're 9 hours ahead of me. But email me and I will forward your request to my show producer who will send you a link to get you on StreamYard. That's the application I'm using. It uses YouTube to transmit the live stream. And StreamYard is a software application, and they'll give you the link. If you get knocked off, you can repost the link again in your browser. Rules are simple. We show respect in this room to one another. We do not use profanity, and we do not use the first name. We do not use the names of children, judges, or social workers. Also, we do not smoke or eat during the live stream. That's simple. Now, lastly, I'm going to put my phone number up. When I put my phone number up, you can call in at 626-698-0990. That's the direct line to my phone, and I will take the calls. Um, because I find sometimes talking is a lot easier. If you go the guest, I can. There's 9 of you. I can talk to you a lot easier. On a phone, I can only talk to one of you. My phone is live. My phone is live. Yeah, Desiree, this is Bob Pace with live stream. I can only talk during my live stream hours. It's 7 p.m. every night of the week and 10 a.m. in the morning, Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. on Saturday. Those times are all Pacific Standard Time. You're on Pacific Standard Time, so there should be no problem. But I cannot talk to you before my show or after my show. So I'm on live if you want to call me. Thank you. Bartley, do you want me to call you? Yeah, I know Kelly is a stepdad, but you never told me you had a biological father involved. I asked you a long time ago. Well, oh boy. After the November 4th hearing, they said they'd be making a 6-month hearing after that. Isn't that what they do for adoption, terminate rights? Well, did you ask them that you want to be reunified with your son? Did you mention that to them? Bartley, can you call in or should I call you? I can call you if you like and make it easier. Good evening. This is Bob Pace. You've reached my live stream. Is this Bartley I'm speaking to?
Yes, it is.
Well, I'm sorry today went bad for you.
Huh?
I'm sorry today went bad for you.
Yeah, weird thing about a lot of it was really weird. Kelly said that, or stepdad said he was on the Zoom in the waiting room or something, and they never let him in when I was saying things that he could verify, and I did not know that till after when stepdad told me that.
Well, can we start? Can we start from the beginning of how this status hearing started out? Can you hear what the attorney said? They were first up to talk, right?
Right.
What did they say? The plaintiffs. I know it's
I'm trying
hard.
to think, Bob. Hang on, I'm so distraught right now over all this.
I know you are. It's okay. It's okay. I see sometimes you start from the beginning and talk to it because how come you never mentioned Kelly to me before?
You mean the biological dad?
I mean, the biological dad. I don't know what his name is.
Well, we don't want to talk about his name, right?
Well, we just say biological dad, okay? The biological dad. I didn't know he was a part of this process. I had no idea because I asked you, was the biological father still involved? He says, no, he wasn't.
Well, he never was since he got me pregnant. When I got pregnant, he changed his phone number on me when I told him. I had to hire the marshal in Connecticut to track him down and serve him the paperwork when I was pregnant. And then he took me through 3.5 years of hell to do child support. He's a truck driver, and he claims he's poor. He had a public defender this time, and then when stepdad got my son out of the foster care system, biological dad said he wanted the son to stay in the foster program after they broke his leg and not be with stepdad. And when I heard that in the courtroom at the last hearing, my heart sunk, because that told me right there he doesn't care or love for him. He says he has no money, but he does, because after that day, he went and hired the attorney in Missoula that he hired for 3 years of hell he put me through for child support. And this woman will do anything for money. This attorney that he has.
Okay.
And I did send you 2 texts earlier. I didn't know you weren't on the show or on the show yet.
Yeah, I probably didn't read them earlier. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's okay. It's okay. I just wanted to say what I wrote was that you are absolutely right, Bob. And if you're indigent, it doesn't matter if you have a heart full of love for your children and you can provide and your house is clean, that they don't care. They don't care. You're right.
Well, what did the plaintiff said that was so negative about you? What did the plaintiff attorney say that was bad about you?
They brought up the hair follicle test I kept telling you about. That supposedly my son had meth in his system. Well, Kelly knows I don't use meth. I never did. Now, if we want to go back, when I was 12 and a half, I never said this to you, but when I was 12 and a half years old, my mother gave me methamphetamines, okay?
Okay.
And I did methamphetamines every day, so I was 17 years old and 2 months pregnant.
You didn't tell the court that? You didn't tell the court that?
I tried to say what I could, but I even brought in the pictures of the house and pictures of the scheduled meeting, and stepdad made up for, our son, my hair, and his house, because we live like catty corner from each other. And finally, at the end, they took him up to the judge, and he didn't even look at him. And then the biological dad wasn't there, but his attorney was there, and he pays for it, and said that he had just bought a brand new car off the lot, but he's poor, and rented or leased an apartment out here in Missoula. I don't live in Missoula, but that's a bigger city. And I talked to my daughters tonight, and because they know this man, because I've known the biological dad since I was 12 and he was 11, and he had been infatuated with me.
You didn't bring up the court that the biological dad raped you? You didn't bring that part up?
I never really got a chance to. I had told the public defender, but she was on the Zoom and she didn't say nothing. It was just like when I tried to talk, they didn't care.
Yeah, but you said you had your turn to talk. Couldn't you just said something right off the bat that I want the court to know that I was raped by this older man, and that's why I have this child, and that I was put on drugs since I was 12 years old to the age of 17 by my mother, but I am clean. I've drunk dust test. My house is uncluttered, and I want my son. I want to take care of him. He wants his mother.
Well, they said, I still need that they would all lift their hands up and shrug their shoulders when it came to when I would say, I don't see any reason why my son can't be returned. And they would say, because the house is done, and then, like you said, I'm not using drugs, or nothing. And I don't know. I do know that when the 3 years of hell he put me through for the child support, that I had a private attorney at the time that I was paying, and who had money at the time, and I found out through her that he had his attorney and her, and I don't know why my attorney didn't have me involved, but to go and talk in the judge's chambers over the phone. And this man, what he does is goes, hey, I'll give you X amount of dollars and you make this happen. That's what he does. My daughters told me tonight that what he's wanting to do is, if I will submit to him and be with him, he will stop all this to me and my son.
Yeah, well, you need to bring that up to the judge. You see, the problem is you're not thinking because you're so caught off guard because you thought this man didn't have anything to do with you.
Right, right. And then then I don't have the attorney speaking up because she's not even there in person, you know. I mean, the criminal attorney, I don't know if I told you this, but the criminal attorney yesterday, she wrote me an email because since they broke down my door, I told you they broke it down.
Right.
Right. Warrant. At the Sanders County Sheriff's Office supposed to replace it. They told me that too, the officers. And I haven't done it yet, and it doesn't lock my door. And so 3 times I've woken up recently, and the doors have pushed open. I have like the chain on it, so somebody tried to come in. And the criminal attorney, who is a private attorney that gets the overflow from the public defender's office, she kindly offered and said, "You make the appointment, and I will pay for the door and the installation for you and your son." And she's the one that's going to take on the case for them breaking his leg.
Mm-hmm.
The good attorney. But this other one here, when I researched her, I think she just got her degree or whatever in March this year. But she wasn't saying anything. And I brought all that up. And I even have, even when I'm talking to my daughters tonight, they've seen the texts that he wrote and, things that he says to me. And I don't know. I told you, every child, I have 3 children, and they're all about 12 years apart, every one of them. And, it happened to me when I was 7. They took me from my mom.
Yeah.
Because I got molested and my mother was on meth.
Right, right.
My dad said he got custody of me when I was 12, but my dad's deceased now. He died at 16. And I don't know. I just know I love my son, and that's why I kept telling stepdad, I said, we need to work together. And the first words out of his mouth were, I don't want to be with you. And I was thinking, don't flatter yourself, dude. Because I go, the feeling is mutual. I didn't say the flatter, but I thought about it. What are you thinking? I'm trying to help. Let's get these people out of our lives. I even told the lady that was here on Friday, and I had told stepdad,
Did they talk about reunification at all?
No, what they want me to do is the parenting classes, drug testing.
Well, that's part of reunification. Did you tell them that you want to be reunified with your son? Did you tell them that?
I don't remember saying that. I remember saying that I wrote down everything you were saying. I remember saying I am not guilty.
Right.
I want my son returned to my care. And I think that probably left out the family reunification because it was a lot of stress on me, because that's what the attorney's for. She's supposed to interject.
I know they are.
And because, and that's why when I texted you tonight, I said, you're absolutely right, Bob. If you don't have money, you're asked, in other words, you know what I mean? And it's so sad. Because he's just a little baby boy, And they told me that I have no rights to his education or medical needs. And I knew that was a lie because I learned that from your show. And the judge even said that too, right there in front of me. That I have no rights to that. And then the other caseworkers that were in there, I noticed were from my daughter's case. And I did say that the department has been arresting me for years. I did say that. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I told my friend that the Bible study with me that I feel like crawling in a hole and dying. Because what do I have to live for if I don't have my son?
Well, okay. You can live for yourself. You are an important person. You are very, very important. But the problem being is that nobody in that system um so I can't get a affirmative answer from you because the plaintiffs talk first. Now, did he bring up that you're still testing positive?
No, I told them from the beginning I would test, and they didn't want it.
Okay,
And then I did bring
did you
this up.
tell the
When they
plaintiff
said they tested my,
attorneys, the social worker attorneys, what are they saying that's holding you from
they
family
said,
reunification?
okay, they said that they hair follicled my son in February after his leg got broke, and that his hair had methamphetamines in it. And there's no way. Kelly went on the stand and testified to that and said, no way, no way. And it's like, yeah, you say, you got to use their people, and they make false positives. Is what it is. And they even told me that as far as me drug testing, I have to go through their thing, and that I cannot use my Medicaid or my Medicare, like I know that it's true, to do the drug testing.
Uh-huh.
Yep. They told me, you can't do that. That's not true. It's a lie, or.
Yeah, yeah.
But what do you do? And the attorney's not stepping up. He's just sitting there on the camera.
Well, have you talked to your attorney after the thing and say that you didn't represent me and say all the bad things and tell her that I'm going to do a lawsuit and I'm calling the state bar to have your license removed for
I told her that a few weeks ago, and I got the paperwork in the mail. I told her, and I haven't filled it out yet.
well, you
And
need
I
to
will
go
be
and
heading
fill it
down to
out.
the
You need to go
casino.
fill it out.
Yep, I will now.
And you need to go to the public
I will
defender's
now.
office and say you want an attorney that will fight for you. Just tell them that your attorney did nothing on the Zoom call, did not bring up the things you had asked the attorney to do.
Right, right. I'm just so sad because I found out when that social worker was here on Friday, she slipped twice. And one of the things she said was, when I brought up my son's meltdowns because he's special needs with mild autism and ADHD, she says that he has meltdowns at the school, and that's why stepdad goes and parks by the lake over here by the school. So when something happens, he can go over there and try to help them. This whole time they never told me. I just found that out. Why can't I comfort him? Because then stepdad came over last night and was like, let me hold him and everything. I don't know. I don't know what is going on. And then I found out because my youngest daughter will turn 18 on Sunday, and so now therefore stepdad gets that money that she was getting from the Social Security that goes on to my son, and so now he's getting $250 a month plus $332 from the foster care thingy or whatever.
Well, after the prosecuting attorneys talked, what did your attorney say?
I really can't remember because it was nothing good, and I didn't even bring up because I had told the attorney, Kelly, about his drinking with the beer on the floorboard and smoking the pot off the road, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't bring that up in there, which should have been brought up, and my daughters though told me tonight that biological dad, he drinks every day, and he told me when I was with him in 2019 that he smokes crack, cocaine. Well, that's a rich man's drug because it's expensive, and that's what he does. But he doesn't love my son. He's trying to use my son to get to me.
Yeah, I see that.
And when I was with him in his truck, he's a truck driver. He abandoned me, and I didn't know I was pregnant in Missouri. And I finally got a bus ride home from my ex-mother-in-law. And on the way home, I ended up getting roofied from these 6 black guys. Nothing against black people, but I'm just saying that's what happened. And they tried to throw me in a van and human traffic me. I mean, I was scared. It was a scary thing that happened to me. But I don't know what to do because, like, when I talked to the attorney before the hearing, I talked to her yesterday. I told her, so what you do and say, and she agreed. She would agree with me, but she didn't do it. So I don't know what he's paying her or what. I don't know what's going on because he had a public defender first when all this started, and then, like I said, when he found out his son got to go with that dad, he then all of a sudden hired that attorney, the private attorney that he had before, because she'll do anything for money.
Yeah.
She's heartless. I don't know. I don't understand. And I told them, I want to know resources, they kept saying. What does that mean? They want to know, like, people that could check in on me or something, right? And I hang out with two people that are Christians, and they don't want to get involved. Nobody wants to get involved in this.
No, not nobody. I do. I want to help you as much as I can.
But I mean, like my two girlfriends that are Christians that I do socialize with, they don't want to get involved because, I even talked to the one tonight and told her, what they'll try to do is befriend you, and get you to turn on me. And, yeah.
Well, I'm so sorry.
I am too. The worst part is my son's suffering. One thing the public defender did say was, Your Honor, when he has his second surgery, would it be okay if he could be at home with his mom in his bed? Because he's right now laying on the couch, a 1970 couch from back in the day that Dad had forever, where the mattress is, flat as can be because it's old, and then a piece of plywood under it. How uncomfortable, right?
Right.
And then not to let him in on it, to hear what was going on, so he could speak, that was a setup.
Yeah.
And my whole house is in order. It feels empty. It feels empty because my baby's not here.
Yeah, I understand.
And I don't know how to live because I just don't feel like that's going to be a good outcome.
It will.
What, when he's 18?
Well, yeah, that's, I know that's really hard to do there. But I think if you get another attorney and you've learned from this session here, what did they call the next hearing? Do they have a name for it?
No, I'm going to find out. So, no, I don't know. But then after I know the November 4th, I don't know what that one was called, but they said that the biological dad wanted 6-month hearing after that.
Well, did they leave you with anything mentioned about reunification with the mother?
They just said I need to do the drug testing through their program, and when I have to call every day and do that, and the parenting classes, and I don't have a problem with the parenting classes. The drug thing I have a problem with because I offered in the beginning, about this. And then regarding my son's hair follicle test, when it was done in February, they didn't tell me and stepdad till 3 months later that they had done it. And I told Your Honor that also I never received the paperwork on it that says anything about what this is, that he tested positive.
And what did the judge say?
Order that there's of it. So we'll see if that happens. But still, when they told us 3 months later, I said, well, I want them retested. And they go, well, it's too late now. And that's my fault because you guys decided to hold it for 3 months and then tell us.
Yeah.
And there's no way. Because I hate mess because of my mother.
Yeah.
That's ruined my life. I would never do that to my child.
Yeah.
And so here I sit, and I have no heat. And naturally, the social worker's out this week. You know how that goes. She's in training again. And I've had that paperwork dealt with since the stamp paperwork from the program out here for heating assistance since August 16th. And here we are in October. And when she was here, she called. But, naturally didn't get a hold of nobody. So, I don't know.
So.
And I told her the house is decluttered, and she kept saying, the social worker, it's more than that. And I go, well, what's more than that? And she would literally hold her hands up and shrug her shoulders and look at me. And I'm like, what am I supposed to say? What is she expecting to hear? And that's what I'm thinking. It was really weird. But I think she wants to come over every other week. I'm going to do what you said. I'm not going to let her in my house no more. I'll meet her at the coffee shop in town.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
said.
what did the social workers say or?
Well, the one social worker that's supposedly on the case, she's out all week, so they had the supervisor here. The supervisor was in there, and I've never even met the lady, but she was on my daughter's case too, It's just a nightmare. It's a nightmare is what it is.
Well, what about your visitations? They talk about your visitations?
No.
So they're not modifying, they're going to keep the same visitations?
They didn't say anything about it.
Why didn't you say something about them?
Well, I was stressed out over the weekend and listening to your show and everything. I was trying to write everything down, and I had everything written down, and I was trying to go over it, and then I get interrupted by people, and then the judge would say something, and then it cut me off, and it just wasn't fair, is what I should say. It wasn't fair.
Yeah.
I said, and you guys have no proof of this. It's just made up. And when my daughter did her stuff, I was breastfeeding my son at the time, and there was no drugs mentioned then.
Yeah.
But supposedly now I'm on drugs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What about the stepdad? How was he did he say anything?
No, because he said they had him in the waiting room on Zoom and they never opened it up and put him into the hearing.
Oh, okay. So yeah. He's out of the picture now, you think?
No. He was on hold, he said. They never let him in, and I'm in there saying that me and him are working together, and they're sitting there saying, well, he's not saying that. He's saying this and this, that, that's not true, and there's still visitation happening. But why didn't they have him in there so he could talk?
Why does everybody want to be on Zoom? Why can't everybody be present in court like you were?
Probably because these attorneys are in the bigger cities. I live in a rural area, and that's what I think. Anyways, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then when the attorney was gone, I don't know if you remember me telling you this, but she was gone for a month to Europe.
You did
summer.
mention something about a vacation, yes.
Yeah. So that whole time, I had my calendar with me, and they said that I wasn't cooperating, but I never had a chance to say, Your Honor, I have my calendar right here. And during that whole month, nobody contacted me. Nobody.
Well,
Oh, me, I need to talk to the Costa worker. And like you said, you don't even have to have a Costa worker. And they're telling me, well, I need to contact him and engage.
okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second, please. The show there, I had to interrupt a little bit because I had a visitor. My son from school came in tonight, and he wanted to get his bike. So I'm back now. You go ahead, Bartley, and you can tell me.
Well, I don't know where we were, but one of the things that bothers me is that they've stolen from me is to teach my son to write his name. You know, for example, little things like that I want to do. I did say I'm a loving, devoted mother, and I'm best qualified to take care of him. But even like when I told him about the meltdowns at the school, that nobody had told me that until I found out Friday that she slipped up and said that to me. And it just wasn't addressed. It was just pushed to the side. And the only thing I can think of is biological dad is just forking out the money to everybody. And the only way he'll stop is if I just will be with him, and I would not be with him, never.
Yeah, I know.
Scares me.
I know. Well, you need to get that.
Also, when I was with him, he tried to shove me out of his big rig, his semi. And he tried to push me out. And I don't know, but I all of a sudden got a gust of energy, and I pushed him back. And he's like 250 pounds, this guy.
Yeah.
Adrenaline rush, I think it was, that I had. I could push him off me like that, yeah.
Yeah.
That was in 2019. And like my daughter says, both of them, he tells everybody I'm his high school sweetheart, and I don't feel the same way. I was with my daughter's first dad at the time. Because of my mother giving me drugs, I met my daughter's first dad when he was 12 too, and then he ended up using drugs, and we were all using drugs together, and it was just like it wasn't right. But the biological father, he was a year younger than us. He was 11, and we really didn't want them around, but I guess he has a thing for me, and I don't feel the same way.
Right. He's trying to use the child, the biological father, to get you to be his
Right, when he had
mate.
5 other children.
Yeah.
When he lied and said he only had 1, I found out now he has 5, and he never has been there for any of them.
Wow.
And he's almost 50, and he's going probably through his midlife crisis. I don't know, but I just think it's sad what he's doing to my son. Oh, and Dad did say yesterday when they had their phone calls that biological dad called, and my son didn't want to talk, and so the real dad, he got upset and hung up, I guess. I don't really do that. And then my son told stepdad, I want to talk. And then biological dad said, nope, I'm not going to talk to you after what you just did. And he's only 5 years old. He's 5 years old.
I know.
I wish I had him in my arms right now. When he's with me, like even yesterday when stepdad brought him over, and his hair was a wreck because I always wanted a son with long hair, and so he's got long hair. And I go, come here, son. I like to call him son. And I put him on my lap and I brush his hair, and stepdad goes, oh, good, you're doing that, because every day when I do it, he screams and yells. And I go, well, that's because I'm mama.
Yeah.
Mommies are different than daddy.
Yeah.
And he didn't scream at all. He sat here and he loved it. He ate it up.
Yeah.
That's what I don't get about this stuff is that all I want to do is love my son, Bob.
Yeah, I know.
And they're preventing me from it. And then stealing all the things like, writing his name and things like that. That bothers me, I wanted to do that.
Well, you can still do it. You can still do it. You can still do it. You can still do it.
Why they lie in the court and say that oh no, you have no right to his education or medical needs? Even the judge said that.
No, your rights have not been terminated.
No, I mean to saying he's a homeschooler, but yet they have him in public school. They told
no,
me
you can teach him at home, and right now he's only 5. He's not required to be in public school.
Well, they put him in there. That's where he's at and having meltdowns.
Yeah, I know.
And that's why stepdad's at the lake, It's just a nightmare.
Well, what you're going to have to do is take a nice shower and then get yourself ready for bed and have a good sleep and talk again tomorrow. And we can go through it and have our new plan of attack. The thing is, I don't know all that happened, so it's hard for me to play attack. I'm confused. I thought this was a status hearing. I thought they're going to talk about visitations, more visitations, less visitations. I thought they're going to talk about the family plan and the reunification. Instead, it sounds like they just talked about whatever they wanted. It doesn't make sense to me. How did it end? How did the judge end?
Because that's what they do, Bob. Because look what they did today.
Yeah.
And I had asked my public defender to get this, for circumstance changes for the status hearing.
Yeah. Hello there, Rocky. Welcome. Rocky is from New York. He has a brother. He's trying to help. They had a bad CPS case in Virginia. And Rocky does say that the workers and the judges are all bad. Yeah, that's true. The attorneys are bad too. Right now, we have Bartley from Montana talking about her case that went really bad today. It went really, really, really bad today. And it did not go. She had a public defender that really did nothing for her. Nothing.
Nothing. That's right. Nothing.
Anyway, it was all done on a Zoom meeting. She was the only one. Was the judge in court?
The judge was in court, and then the supervisor was there from Helena, Montana, and she was there, and then the caseworker for my daughter's case was in there, which was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then me, and then next to me was my son's attorney. I guess he has an attorney. And then they told me, the judge told me I need to, I think I said this already, but to be talking to the Casa guy, and that Casa guy was also involved with my daughter's thing. But I'll call tomorrow, and I'm gonna do what you said: take a hot shower and relax.
Right.
Relax.
And then what you can do is we can talk about it and then outline some plan of attack.
Okay. Okay. And maybe tomorrow I'll have a better, thought process. It's just been so much.
Yes, yes.
Oh, Lord, I'm telling you.
Well,
thank you for listening to me, Bob, and
I'm
grateful for you.
I just didn't think I did anything for. I wish I was there in court with you. My prayers were. It's just that I don't know. The problem is that you're taken advantage by the system. The system is corrupt there. They're taking advantage of you because you're not, you have no income. And unfortunately, you were attacked by a man that raped you. You had a child, you want to take care of that child, you love that child, and then you got a user that dropped in, the stepdad, that's just as bad as a biological dad. Then you got a court appointed attorney who doesn't care about anything, and you need to get rid of her. She's just no good. You need to fire her. You need to follow through and do a complaint of negligence against her at the State Bar of Montana, at the capital of Montana.
Okay. Because when I had told her I was going to get the paperwork and report it to the state bar, her words were, "Go ahead."
Yeah, that's what you need to do. You need to fire her.
Okay.
She thinks you don't know anything. Also, you need to go to that same courthouse you're in. You need to go to the defender office and request a new attorney.
Okay. Okay, I will do that.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to let somebody else get on the show.
Sure.
And
Okay.
I'll talk to you tomorrow, Bob.
All right. I'll see you. Take care. God bless you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here for me and being a good friend. I really appreciate that.
Okay. All right. See you, Bartley. Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, that's some distressing news. I want to welcome Happy Feet from Arizona. I haven't talked to you in a while. And she says, I feel for the lady talking. I understand where she's calling from regards to the public defender. My public defender does even show up at court. I'll pray for her. She needs a lot of prayers. She's so disappointed. The biological father raped the mother, and then a stepdad that she had fallen for ended up wanting to use um, her child to get money from CPS. And so they made allegations against her that she was a druggie, but she was given methamphetamine by her mother from age 12 to 17. Her mother was no good. She had a horrible life growing up. And now she's in the system where she gets raped. She has a child, not for abortion or anything, and she wants to raise it. And they're taking advantage of her. She may not have many good smarts about her, but she does care about that child. She had set up a room to be teaching him at home. She wanted to show him how to write his name. I really feel bad for the whole situation. I really do. So anyway, Happy Feet, I'm glad to see you. Now, you guys, some of you like Happy Feet. I think you came in at 8 o'clock. That's when my show ends, 7:58. So I need to wind down the show. I need to wind down the show. Um, Okay. Bartley, you're so sweet to come back in here. You go take that shower, and I'll pray for tonight. Um, well, I'm glad that you had the parenting class, Happy Feet. Happy Feet is part of the ICWA, the Indian Child Welfare Act of 1978. They're trying to get their tribe to take their child and help with the family reunification, but the social workers don't want to deal with the tribe, and the tribe is not too active. And it's a terrible case. But I've gone over time now. I do need to go. I'm going to take my number down. I'm going to put the other number up, which is the Department of Government Efficiency. And um, that is the federal level where you need to solve your case. You try first at the county with the supervisors and managers and the director. If that doesn't work, you go to the state with the ombudsperson or the civil rights coordinator. If that doesn't work, you go to the federal level and go to the website on Doge. And then also there's the phone numbers you can call, and they do work. Area code 202 is the White House. And then you can send an email to them if you want to complain about something in there. They are being investigating. Now, I want all of you to stay to show my video. I'm getting ready to sign off. I'll be here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please don't stop fighting for your child. Come here to get encouragement. God bless you all. And this is Bob Pace.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last ones left. Put your faith